All right, guys. We're gonna be starting. So we're gonna be talking about last couple of weeks. We've been really focusing on defending an offense, and we're focusing on team shape and decision making. Right. I'm gonna be starting with a couple things. Kind of going over some of the stuff that we worked on. We're gonna be not even worried about the forwards. We're gonna assume that forwards are tired. They're not really helping. Obviously, the other team center mid has the ball. Our center mid steps, right? Lead him outside. The other center mid comes back to the gap. This player steps up. This player steps up a little bit, and this player steps up, slides this way. This player slides that way. This player slides a little bit this way. So now, if the pass comes to this player, we're gonna be having a switch right away. The player is gonna come in here. Maybe this player slides in a little bit more. And by this time, our attacking midfield should be coming back to help out with the defending on the outsides. So I hope that's one of the shapes that I really wanted to kind of go over. We've been talking about a lot of the shape stuff, and it's important where we start, start. When the ball is outside, this is when the outside mid goes deeper than the player. Do not run to the player and get beat right away. Or when the ball is coming to him on the way, don't run straight to the player. Go deeper than the player. Run to here. And one D mid is going to be helping. The other defender is going to be here. We're going to be sliding to this area. This player is going to be coming here. And outside mid is going to be leading. Like I said, we are assuming none of the outside mids are going to be, outside attacking mids. But I mean, forwards are not going to be helping out with any of this. All right. So I'm going to be showing you guys a couple things with this again. So we are doubling the team right here, right? If the ball comes in diagonal run right here, which will be a good run for the blue team, the closest player, let's just say if this is the closest player, he should be running. Don't both go after the same ball. This is definitely going to be messing up your team shape dramatically. So whoever is the closest player when the pass is given, you need to be going deeper and you need to be covering this area. Now our outside mid becomes the center mid. So at this point, our center mid is an outside mid. So I just want you guys to understand, for the next couple minutes, he's going to stay there and do the job over right mid or the other guy's center mid. So you need to understand, until the attack is over, you need to continue doing that job. And attack is over, you can go back to your original positions. Let me see, we have a question real quick. I'm reading that. Yes, Regis, in the case, if the right back can get to the ball first, let's just say if we are covering this guy, and this guy is making a diagonal from here, yes, right back can go, let's just say, to this pass. Obviously, the closest player, D-mid, becomes the center back now, and outside mid becomes the center mid again. And now you are doing the job of what again? The right mid. So you're going to be doing the job over right mid in this case. Does that make sense? So they all have to take each other's jobs. You want to make sure that you understand that and you stick to your position once you replace that. So it's important that you guys take over that job. Now, in the same case, we're going to be showing you something else. Let me just put these guys kind of where... let's just say we got the ball. We stole it from the forward and we're looking for options, right? So here's what happens. Here's what I want to see. If this player makes an opening, and obviously he's opened up really well and he's far enough from the player, you can pass it to him here, and our forward should be making a run. Why not either join to give a drop, or you feel like there's an opening in here, you can go. Now, when he does that, the D-mid should be, one of the D-mids should be thinking about, maybe I can drop, he covers that area, and I can be here for the next through ball. Now, I want you guys to kind of see what we've been talking about. we've been talking about finding and being in the true balls, right? Exactly between two players. And outside is the same idea. We always visualize there's a player here and there's a player between the line and here when you're talking about an outside player. So we're going to visualize, imagine there's a player right here. So the through ball is going to be as away from the player as possible, and keep it inside the field as much as you can when it comes to giving a pass on there. I hope that makes sense to you guys. But in this case, if he's going to pass it, look, 1, 2, and he shows up between. And this guy shows up between. And if this guy is coming in, look, you can come in here. If the ball is here and they're sliding, the forward needs to show up to here. And you see that they're coming back. And if there's a space in here, maybe the next ball here, and he's making a run, and he can release the ball to outside. But the idea is we are always keeping it way away from the players. Now, key thing about this, keeping the possession. Oh, I grabbed the guy instead of the ball. So key thing about this is when we see this and he tries to pass it to the player and then we lose the ball. You need to keep that pass away from both the players, and which makes it always assume that, oh, is he gonna get it? Is he gonna get it? Is he gonna get it? When you put it exactly between them, they most of the time they could assume that one of them is gonna get that ball, and you keep it just far enough from the two players that you're smart enough to receive the ball into the gap. Now, with that subject, I want you guys to watch this. Beautiful play. So we're going to be actually showing you guys something from Steelhead season. One of the things that there's a drill that we did last year, guys. I don't know if you guys remember. Let me go back to this screen real quick. We kind of did this drill. Let's just say the player outside, he passes the outside player, and forward gets the ball. When he gets the ball from this side, we want them to touch it this way and turn this way, and so we can catch the other team opposite side with less numbers to defend it. So we kind of work on that constantly last year in training sessions. We had a drill that we did with this, and we've been talking about this. If a good forward switches feet or touches it to opposite side, and make sure that he can open the game to the unexpected side. Because the ball is here, most of their players are going to be sliding to this way. Okay? So once you touch it this way, you can catch him off guard because most of the players are going to be in this side. Okay? So let's go back to this video again.
Yes!
Okay, he's using the opposite foot. Like I would have preferred the left foot there, but that's fine. He gets the idea of keeping the ball away from the defender behind him. He's creating what we call a Drogba triangle. Okay, this is, remember we kind of talked about this. When we touch it this way, that pulls the player in and that opens up the other side. Obviously, the action needs to bring the reaction of the outside forward. Most of the time, this guy gets the ball, our outside forward is like, I hope he scores. I'm cheering for him. No. You need to give him an option. You need to be there for him. You need to make sure that you're a part of the play. Either you think you're going to get this ball or not, you need to be anticipating that you might get that ball. Good turn. Beautiful goal. I like that one. Steelheads, good job with that one. Let's see this goal. I want you guys to watch this. Obviously, majority of the goals any of my teams score is set plays. We work on set plays, and when we do the throw-in, we do one of our set play called Sweden. We're not gonna tell whoever watches this video how we do it, but you guys know how we do this. I want you guys to just pay attention to this the vision of the goalie when the throw-in happens. Now I'm gonna go back a little bit. We're gonna see the fast way he scores, and then they're gonna do a slow motion of it. I want you to watch Ginger Jesus, John Troca, and goalie has no idea what everybody is. And if you guys know this play, 2-1 back post keeper. We are completely blocking the view, and John does an amazing jump and flicks the ball beautifully. It's a beautiful goal. I will have to watch you guys one more time. Flicks right to back post. Beautiful goal. Keeper has no idea where it is. All right, guys, that was great. All right. We're gonna be going back to some of the things. I hope you guys enjoy that video. You know, because it's important to watch those in action. What we talk about, the through balls, the diagonal runs, and how does players achieve those goals, right? Like, we need to make sure that we are always encouraging that kind of behavior from our players. So we're gonna be kind of showing you guys a couple of options with this. Now, this is a constant movement, right? So if this player has the ball right here, I think we might have some extra players, right? I'm just gonna be eliminating the outside forwards and the outside mids only. Okay, so this guy has the ball. Obviously, now we're gonna start looking at the through balls. So this guy is sliding. We see that this guy is coming closer to this way. This could be a good place for it. Bomb, right? And if that happens, this player needs to be backing up. Bomb. Diagonal run to here will take the pressure from here. Okay, bomb. Between two players, everybody's sliding at this point. They might have a defender in here. Let's just bring a player here. So now, bomb, and if you can open the game quickly to the opposite side, there's going to be a lot of openings. Why do we do that? Now, watch. We kind of build up a couple passes, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? At this point, it's a good time when we know a good smart player, when they know they slide enough numbers to the side, that's a good time to, okay, now we made them fall to our trap. This is the perfect time to open the game. This guy is going to have a lot more space. So I always tell you guys in training too, soccer is like magic, right? You show in one hand what you want the person to see, but you're actually doing the magic on the other hand. So you want to make sure the biggest importance in this, what we're trying to say is, when this is happening, you got to be aware that, hey, you know what? I think they're going to open the game at some point. I'm ready for this. Versus, I hope they can attack from that side. Let's see. Oh my God, what is happening? Oh, is he going to get it? No, that's not how you think. You think like, okay, you know what? They're going to open the game. And at this point, when this guy gets the ball, I'm going to let him know I'm open. Open the game. Bomb. Oh, I send the player instead of the ball. Bomb, and you're in an attack position right away. Does that make sense? So I want you guys to, I did not read all the questions. Let me see if there's any questions. Now, at this point, like I was expecting you guys to kind of, I hope that you watch some of the combinations. What we're trying to tell you guys is making sure we fill those gaps between players. We are trying to make sure that we have a plan. Our plan is to make a team slide one way and catch them off guard by going to the other side. But always, every action needs a reaction. Galloway, right? Every action. So we need to make sure that we feel those. I gave you guys a couple of good videos of movement of the ball, of offensive runs, of some of the passes to the through ball areas. And unfortunately, what I see from our team, we get really good at doing this. We get really good at side passes, but we don't really fill these gaps right here and try to find these triangles to go forward a lot, right? And I think this is the thing, like, don't be obvious. If this guy is here, maybe make them, he doesn't have a lot of space, let's just say, right? Maybe go to the center guy first. That's gonna make this guys go a little bit more narrow, right? And then you go in wide at that point, it's gonna catch them off guard. So we want to make sure that sorry guys, yeah, we got, it's my fault. I was trying to turn the camera back on to the TV, but I got cut out. So I apologize for that. But what we were talking about is making sure that we catch the other team off guard, making sure that off the ball movement is critical for the players. Okay, so what I was trying to ask is, can you please comment about what you saw up there, what I'm trying to teach you guys, and what do you like about that? I would like some comments from forwards. Like, for example, a forward in our team, it seems like you know, like they're left alone a lot, right? Like once we get the ball to the forward, it seems like we're playing Sunday soccer with a bunch of out of shape big guys, because we gave the pass and now we're gonna watch the forwards what they're gonna do. Every time, like we say, every action needs a reaction. Every time we put the ball up there, we gotta step it up and we gotta support the offensive players. You will not be able to create the triangles you see on TV if he has no options to create the triangles. You cannot expect the forward to, you know, create a triangle with his outside forwards and be successful at it every time. We're gonna have a very small percentage if you're gonna be giving the ball to them and not really giving them the numbers. Does that make sense? So if you have any comments, please start writing it now about what we talked about the off the ball movement, how important it is, what we are asking you guys to do, about what I said about magic, showing in one hand but doing something else in the other hand, which is, you know, giving the other team something that you make them think you're gonna do, but you're gonna come up with something more creative and catch them off guard. Yep, it's important. Kim has a good point. What we showed last week as a team movement, and we see some of the professional teams doing that now, and it's critical that we see that you know, mentality, right? Like, it's important that none of us stop when the ball is moving to one side. None of us stop. There's always has to be some kind of idea. Each player has to have an idea. I'm going to be kind of touching that in a second, but I'm hoping that there's going to be more comments. Madison is right as well. I like that she got the idea of every action as a reaction. Show up between the players often for through balls is a key moment for us. Well, Jason's question is very simple. Our midfielders don't see the through balls sometimes the forwards are making, or the check-ins from forwards. What both our forwards and the midfielders should do to make this happen more often, right? So, like, communication is simple. Like, you just need to be talking to each other, and you also need to be, instead of looking down to the ball, seeing your options to look up. But unfortunately, Jason, like, I have to be criticizing some of you guys in this case. Sometimes you're checking in, but not necessarily in the vision of the center mid. I'm not saying always, but sometimes you do that and you're not really in the vision of the player. You just think you are, and you're not really away from the pressure. Like, if this guy gets the ball right here, let's just say there's a player here, and you're checking in, because you see the player, but you're not realizing there's a player coming from here, let's just say from there, and he's not really in there. So you need to actually move to the side more and stay in the vision of the player. Now when you get the ball, if you touch it this way, it's going to take the attention of this player. If he goes to the shoulder, you just drop it back to here. He makes a diagonal run and it's an easy goal. Done. Quickly. Let's see the next question. I see that TJ has a question. Yeah, exactly, TJ. It's all about finding the space for yourself. Like, unfortunately, a lot of our offensive players and outside mids, they are chess pieces. They want to stand where they are. Like, this guy gets the ball. He's like, I'm open, just give me the ball. But you're open, but maybe there's a player right here. Right? So you're not really open. Yes, you see the ball, but there's a pressure here. So why don't you come up a little bit more back to receive the ball here, get this guy out of the way, maybe you can release the ball wide to this player, and we're in attack right now. So I think a lot of times we assume that we're open because we're not checking our surroundings. You understand that? So, like, if you see, like, Ronaldinho was one of the best in the world for this. When he recognized that he has a defender, he kind of checked to him, make him comfortable, and he made a suddenly movement back to receive the ball, so he has more space. Now this guy thought that he was close. Suddenly he moved away. He gets the ball. Now he's coming to him. This makes him an easy target to do a quick trick and beat the player as well. Does that make sense? Yeah. Jeff is saying that how in one of the scenarios that we were working on, when he went behind the outside mid, right back covered it, and everybody else covered each other's jobs. And it's important that you understand that anyone can be anybody in the field as long as you cover each other's jobs. Yes, very good point. Now, we kind of talk about this. If you, like, I'm okay with saying here, if you show up between two players and you are having an eye contact and you say here. One of our players right there, I think it might be Matty Smith's parents. Matty Smith probably is asking this. When moving off the ball, not just saying here, but using the correct terms. Very critical. So, if you have an eye contact play with the player, saying here is fine. But if the player is moving that way, and you show up right here in his blind spot and say here, we do that a lot, and that's not very smart. Now, what you do is, you say through ball. So now he's looking for a through ball, right? You say wide. Now he's looking for a wide ball. You say drop. He's looking for a drop. Right? And drop. Square. Wide. Checking in. Wide. Through. Bomb, right? He's getting to the ball. The defender is running to the player. This is the blind spot. He's making a diagonal run. And how we saw that a lot of times goalie is going to be here, obviously, because he can have a shot. A lot of times I showed it in the video. The cross comes like this, like a banana this way. He kicks it this way and bananas it away from the keeper. It looks like it's going to go to keeper, but it's banana this way. It's simple tap for the forward to finish, hopefully to the back post. Does that? You heard the language I hope I used up there? Yeah, and you can say switch. You can say open the game to the right, to the right, to the left, to the left. Those languages is, especially when the player does not have eye contact with you, it's critical to use that language. So one thing that I would do, like Jeff says right there, when no eye contact, you need to make it clear. But one thing that you do not want to do is taking too much attention to yourself. If you checked, let's just say if this player has the ball, let's send everybody back to just normal positions. If this player is dribbling the ball and you say through, and I mean after 2 seconds they're going to be coming close. So if you say too many times, it's not a good place anymore, right? So you just need to make sure that we communicate quick And when we communicate, we should pass the ball. But if we're not passing the ball, don't pass it to that player anymore. Because communication can be heard not just by you guys. We don't have, ESP powers. We cannot be sending, telepathical messages to each other so other players can hear it too. So it's in the moment when you ask for the ball, either you get it, and if you don't get it and they're responding to your communication, we need to open the game somewhere else. But like we say, magic, right? Show it in one hand, do something else in the other hand. So if this player is asking for the ball and make these guys go, oh yeah, he's gonna, that opens the way of this guy now. He can through ball here and he can go. And this guy can say, yeah, give me the ball. He can take the player's attention, and this guy could act like he's gonna pass the ball to him and beat the player himself and go to goal himself and score. Does that make sense? So you can use communication so many different ways. You don't have to communicate and always get the ball. Sometimes communication can be used to trick the other team to kind of respond to your communication. Jason's question real quick first. So the body language. Now, Jason, it's going to be hard to explain it in a video, but I explained this in the video yesterday. I sent it to you guys with the coaches chat. So if this player gets the ball here and he looks up to cross the ball, you need to be ready to go to, instead of here, you need to be ready to go to blind spot of the player, and you need to be ready to go to the back post here. Looking up, chin up, the player is looking for that pass. But if the player is looking down, he's about to try to either beat the player or he's looking for this. So if the player is looking down, he's not interested in crossing that ball. So reading that body language. And if he passes the ball here, he has an opening. Instead of running wide, if you make a diagonal run to here, you could be immediately scoring a goal yourself. I really want this more. That's one of the things that I don't like the old British soccer. It's all about like passing the ball here and let's see if we can score this amazing cross. Well, the modern soccer, what Spain brought to the whole world is they want to go for the goal, right? So if he passes the ball to here, he starts running towards the center because this guy is going to be coming center too and go to goal right away. This is Iniesta, Messi. So you need to make sure that you kind of see this body languages too. So if the player looks up versus looking down for a through ball, you need to respond to that, what the player's body language shows. Okay, Ajit is asking a good question. How does the defender communicate with a player to go to space? Yes, you can communicate, you can say something, but here is the cue. A silent cue for a defender. Okay, we're gonna bring this guy back to here. All right, so this guy having pressure, right? If a defender is moving the ball to the side, and this is the same for any of the center mids too. If a player is going sideways, that's your cue that he's looking for an option. So back up, show up. So that's your cue. If he's going this way, that way, backwards, but especially when he's moving to the sideways, he's looking for those balls. He's looking for maybe a run from here. The player can release a high ball, long ball to here. So that's your cue. Does that answer your question? That's a big cue. That's a lot of the, unfortunately, low-level CC players and low-level college players, low-level professional players, they don't really pay attention. One of the first things my coach, Fatih Terim, was really stepping on that was that. Like, if the player is moving the ball to the side, that's your cue. That's your sign to have an opening. You need to make sure you're making your movement, your pressure, your diagonal runs to give them that option. So anytime you see a center mid, let's just say this is the center mid, he's moving the ball to the side. He's going this way, the ball is going this way. He's moving this way. So that's asking you to back up, show me here, Whoa, we lost a player somehow. Okay, I'm gonna bring him here, and he's going to sideways. He's looking for this, and if this forward is going this way, right, he's looking for that bomb, diagonal, and one-on-one. You understand that off the ball movement, diagonal runs, filling those gaps are important. We do not want to be showing you what some of the other clubs, I'm not going to give names, your chess pieces, right mid, your center, so just stay where you are, square ball. And you are a left mid, so stay where you are, we're going to get you the ball. That's not what I want to teach. So please make a comment, you understand, it makes sense to you. And like I said at the beginning of this session, I think knowing these things and learning these things, we're going to be seeing some insanely good changes in some of our players. Guys, this sucks. I want to be in the field with you guys. And I hope you guys appreciate Gala is here. It's not going anywhere. We're going to be here for you guys. We're going to continue to do this stuff. And we're going to help you with however I can. Right now, this is a good chance for any of you guys to, you're welcome to contact me. I'm willing to do individual videos for you guys. So if you want to contact me about what you want to do, what you want to learn, and specific questions, I can prepare small videos for you guys and send it to you. Okay? Thanks for tonight, guys. I apologize for cutting that last session. Thank you again. And if anybody wants to do a feedback session after this, please let me know. Continue your 20s. Send us the videos or 20s you're doing. It's just the principle of it. Please continue to do so. Thank you, guys. Have a wonderful day. Happy Easter again. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you next Sunday.